70% of the content, I would believe, at least in music, it's all vocally corrected and
Oh, of course, of course. Everybody does that. I do that. All of your favorite singers do that. There's very few singers out there who don't use it. If you're good, auto-tune is minimal and you can feel that.
tell us something about your collaboration with Salim Mach.
So Salim has this IP called Soundcheck, and the minute they contacted us, I told Yogi and our manager, I was like, we are sending this song. We sent that song, and I think the entire team at Soundcheck was really, really thrilled.
Hey guys, welcome to Art and Culture Tribe. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we have with us an amazing vocalist who represents two bands, Pineapple Express and My Conscience. So let's get to know his process of making music. It's going to be fun. So let's welcome Casey.
Hello,
Hi Casey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. We're very happy to have you here. And Karthik Chennoji Rao. How did Casey become?
So simple story. There were multiple Karthiks in my classroom, and everybody took one surname, like Karthik Dhanpal KD. So I just became Casey, and that kind of stuck through high school with me. And, yeah, and there was always been multiple Karthiks in the classroom, so I was
Yeah,
always
Karthik is fairly
very
usual
common in
yeah.
Bangalore. Yeah.
Nice. So, Casey, you perform with two bands right now. One is your own, My Conscience, and then it's Pineapple Express, right? Amazing bands. I've heard your music. It's really, really good. And so, how did you incline to music?
Um, I think I went to, there's a thing called Karavali Utsava in Bangalore.
Oh, yes.
And I think I was in 7th standard. I went to Karavali Utsava and I was just roaming around. And I went to this small tent guitar shop. And I had never seen a guitar before that. And I was like, okay, I want to get that. I want to see what that's about. So I went in. But he didn't let me touch the guitars because obviously they were. Now that I think of it, they might have been really bad guitars, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I was really amazed by like, whoa, okay. Then I went to mom and I was like, I want to buy one of those. She was like, here's $100. I think she gave me, 100. She was like, enjoy. If you can buy the guitar, you get it. So I went back, and the only thing I could find there was in my budget was a how to learn guitar book.
Okay.
Which I bought before I had a guitar or anything. So I bought the book and I just read through it, and there was no way for me to try anything in the book. So I was just like, okay, so this is sheet music and this is music theory. So I understood music theory just in my head. I have no ways to apply it or figure out what it is. But I knew what music theory was before I touched the guitar. And then I realized guitars are expensive, so I had to wait for a bit. Um, I went to Aloysius. In Aloysius, I met a friend of mine called Neil, who graciously agreed to, his cousin or somebody was a guitar tech. So he was like, there's a second-hand guitar for like $2,000.
Okay.
So I went on, did some, uh, what's the thing when you work right after college for a bit?
Okay.
Internship work, yes. I interned with Airtel, and I got $2,000 exactly. I put that money into that guitar, and that's how I acquired the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me learning music. That's where it started. I think I started in engineering. First year, 2011, I got the guitar, and then I was just noodling with it. Yeah, no classes or anything like that.
Did you actually go to a guitar class, or you just learned it by
I
yourself?
went to. So near my house, there was one dude who played guitars for the local orchestra band and even my dad's friend. So my dad said, if you're really into it, go check it out at his place. And I didn't even know that guitars had steel strings.
Okay.
So when I touched this rusty old guitar that this guy had, I was like, whoa, okay, how do these things make sound? Then he tried teaching me, but it was a little weird. I think that man was also going through some troubled times with. It was weird. His wife, his children are all screaming constantly, and I'm like, okay. uh, yeah, after that, I went to one class at Sandesha, but I didn't have a guitar of my own. So the guitar
Sandesha is the music school in
yes, in
Bangalore.
Bangalore,
Yeah.
yeah. School of Arts. Yes. And he said, yeah, without an actual guitar, you can't do much. And this was in high school. Like
Okay.
after, this was when I tried getting back into, but then I realized I need a guitar to do anything. So after that, when I got a guitar, I didn't bother with classes. I was just like, yeah, let me just apply the things that I have in my head because of that book. Um, and it was it was a toy when I got it, to me at least. I was not like I'm gonna become uh, I don't know, like the lead guitarist for Megadeth learning guitar. It was more like uh, can this help me become a better singer? But then I fell in love with playing guitar. It was always easier to be my own band than go and interact and talk to other. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what happened.
And then, how did you get into the music scene here in Bangalore, the independent music scene?
Actually, I have no clue. I I came to Bangalore. I got a job here,
Hmm.
uh, but I was like, yeah, job. I'll always keep it as the side thing, but I need to make music.
Music.
Um, I don't know. I've always had this like finger up my bum kind of, call it what you want. Like I have to make music. I have to absolutely make it. There's no backup plans or anything, but yeah, I have to pay rent and not beg my
Yeah.
parents for
Yeah.
money constantly. I don't want to take that route because if I do that, I guess they'll also lose trust in me, my ability to make a living off of this,
Yeah.
and I needed to prove that to myself. Yeah, so I think like I met people because of the people I knew back from Mangalore who had also come to Bangalore with me here, doing similar jobs and in also having similar plans for life. Like I'll make music on the side or something like that. And I met people through that. And anytime I met somebody who I liked, I'd make it a point to have a conversation with
Yeah.
them about music, see what they also like, and if we had things in common, more than just let's make a band or anything. I'd just be like, let's jam,
Yeah.
let's see what comes out of that. And I've been lucky enough to meet really talented people along the way. I'd like to believe that they also see some worth in having the same kind of experiences with me. So yeah, we've made music going on from there together, and yeah, I'm not specifically. I'm not the guy who goes to shows to
Okay.
meet musicians or to network. I can't do that. Like the whole aspect of it being something corporate and I need to do this. I totally understand it, but I don't think I am
You are
able
that.
to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I need to have a genuine connection with the person that I'm playing or making music with. It makes sense to me only then.
Okay. Now coming to My Conscience and Pineapple Express, which one came first? At least as an idea, I think.
I think My Conscience was before Pineapple, or with me at least.
Okay.
Because I think Pineapple has existed before me. Yeah, Pineapple has existed before me as Iswara also.
Oh, okay.
Iswara kind of broke down and morphed into Pineapple.
Okay.
And I think when I joined Pineapple was already 2 years old because I had seen Pineapple as Iswara at National Law School for Strawberry Fields, I think. And I remember going, whoa, like insane. Like
Okay.
they played Cloud, I think the old version of Cloud. Um, but yeah, Mycon was mostly. So I keep writing. I'm like obsessively. I have to. If I'm not doing anything, I have to seize the day and make music.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'll keep recording and writing down ideas. trying to finish them. So I have like a sizable amount of songs and bits that I've composed. And Mycon was like, and I think it's also like I don't want to be like a solo artist. At least back then I had that. It always feels nice to have people to lean back on and share things with. So I met some very nice people again. Bhaskar, Rahul Rao. They kind of helped me get over my fear of whether I'm able to do this or not
Okay.
to a good extent. I think they also are like, not everybody gets to do this. And I think that was like good for me. Like, I'm getting to do this. I'm healthy enough and I can, do these things decently enough at least. So I should look into getting better and like being um, being somebody who people want to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's been the journey for them. And that with them, I made Mycon. I brought all of my songs that I had written and I gave it to them. They added some flavors and that lineup didn't stay away. I think we did like 2 shows.
Okay.
But the responses we got on just those 2 shows was good enough for me to just be like, yeah, I need to like. So then I went through a slew of bandmates.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Uh, until I got to the current lineup where I'm like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, we're all collectively, even though I'm writing most of the songs, we all bring a collective flavor into
Yeah.
what comes out at the end of it, and being connected to it, like looking back at it after a release is a very nice feeling to have. I feel like these when you see ads that there are some things that money can't buy, these are one of those things.
Okay. So how many songs have you released from My Conscience as of now?
Right now, I've released one song.
Okay. I was actually waiting for the song. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Savior or Survivor?
Savior.
Savior, sorry. Yeah, that was a nice song. And I think I remember
Yeah,
Bhaskar tracking guitars for that. And that was a crazy solo.
You played bass on it, by the way.
Did
yes,
I?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. But
so, yeah.
what's happening with that song? I'm curious now.
So I've revamped everything. I think that's also like a problem with me.
Okay.
But I keep the song, I cook the song so
Yeah.
long that every year my skills increase. I am into different things. I change phases. Sometimes I'm into like folk country, and sometimes I'm into like completely like progressive metal. And as they change, the songs also kind of change. They gain new parts. They morph a little different. They become heavier. Some of them have completely become acoustified.
Okay.
So Savior is in that process where it's a lot more heavier now. And
okay.
we played live for a Mycon shows also. So I would love for you to check it out. I'll maybe send a demo. Only him, not you guys.
Sure. Waiting for that. So, okay. So, coming back to your songs. So, when are you planning to release them? Is that an EP or you're planning out an
I have
album?
no clue actually. To be really honest, I'm very confused. I don't understand music business too much. I'm trying to, but it's mostly like, why are people acting like idiots in the music business? That's mostly my reaction to everything happening there. But I am working on an album with Mycon right now. We have most of the songs are done. We were just waiting for a few things, working on music videos. Like, I don't want to prematurely ejaculate about this. Like, I've always known that I've always believed in less talk, more action. So rather than talking about, oh, this is going to be amazing, it's so big, guys, big news, it's coming your way, I want to show it with content.
I get it.
And I'm not super social media savvy either. I try to hide mostly. I don't post that much. And consequently, my con also does not post that much because of that. So yeah, I know that reach and relevance are based on a lot of things like playing the algorithm and all of that. But I kind of feel like if I just keep at it in the sense that keep releasing good content, maybe it'll work out. Or if not, fuck it. I'm just like
Okay.
doing something that makes me happy.
Okay. But do you believe that if you were, more active on social media, would that make a difference?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think, but I've also noticed that it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Where being active on social media really it's a profession. So if you want to be an influencer, that is definitely something that you need to do. You're constantly thinking about ideas, putting things in buckets, and people have constantly hounded me, Casey. Or you can, there are people who sing worse than you, just make videos and put it out, and they have like
I think that's I can say at
50K
least
followers.
70% of the content, I would believe, at least in music, it's all vocally corrected and things
Oh,
like
of course,
that.
of course.
And you
Everybody
can.
does that. I do that.
Okay.
All of your favorite singers do that. And even if it sounds like it's live and it's in a room sitting on their kitchen, you know what I'm talking about. The three guys with perfect pitch. That's all. That's all fully corrected. I can hear the correction. There's very few singers out there who don't use it or like. And I don't think you should look at auto tune, at least for records, like when you're listening to it, as something that the singer can't is not good because they use auto tune or not. If you're good, auto tune is minimal and you can feel that. If you're bad, you're gonna sound like Dinchak Puja, and obviously, as a consumer, none of us think that Dinchak Puja is great sounding. So
Okay. Okay. Coming back to your song, this is for my conscience right now. Okay. So, what is the process that you follow? Is there a set process, or it's just I feel something today, so let me just.
I don't know if there's a process to it. I like coming up with the melodies and hook lines. I'll just be watching a movie. There might be a line that strikes me, and then immediately my brain will be like, okay, how do I tunify this line? And then I'll build a riff, or sometimes I'll be just be jamming with the guitar, and I'll get a riff and I'll build it around the riff. So there's like one bass idea I start on. There's always one thing that I build something around to make. Everything I write has one central idea to it, and I think that's very evident in like it'll be a hook, it'll be a vocal line, and I also think that everything that I compose and write and do has to be uh, should be able, like anybody who's listening to the song should be able to play it on a single instrument and voice.
Okay.
Like if you're a piano player or a guitar player, you should just be able to jam with it. It's not going to be a production song where um, there are gimmicks or fancy things that you can't do or things like that. It should come down to bare bones.
And you should be able to perform that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because that's the thing I love about the songs that I uh, grew up listening to, and I want to have the same feeling go through.
Okay. Who were your early influences that made you stick to music?
I think, to be really honest, my early influences are Kannada film music, Hindi film music, like 90s to 2010s,
Okay.
where I like ate that shit. Like
Okay.
it was good. So I don't think there's a dichotomy where this is commercial music and this is not. Anything that sells is commercial music. If it's good music and it sells, what do you call it? Like, is it commercial or is it good? So yeah, whenever somebody says, "Oh, this is commercial stuff," I'm just like, but commercial can be good,
Yeah.
and good can be commercial. So it's not exclusive of each other. I feel like it's insulting to the audience when you say this is commercial. I do get that there is a target audience for every kind of music, but there has been music that's broken genres, broken their target audience, and gotten into other places, and it might be, and music is subjective. What is
Yeah.
commercial to you might not be
True.
commercial to somebody else. Like Indian music, whatever whatever we think is super garbage commercial, the lowest hanging fruit, might sell to white audiences like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, I get it. They're like, oh, India is like the land of mystique and spirituality. So, and the same way we consume like Western music, it's to a lot of us, it is very like, what is this? When I heard Linkin Park first, I was just like, because till then, songs were film songs. You need to know classical music. Uh, you need to have that voice and that kind of skill to pull all of this off. And bands were one singer in the middle and a keyboardist and a tabla player.
Yeah.
And they all very disciplinedly follow their art on stage, and everybody sits down
In the Carnatic.
in the Karnataka,
Yeah.
or even for the local shows that we've gone to
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Bangalore.
true,
Yeah,
true.
it's, everybody sits down.
Yeah, sits down.
Kadri Gopalnath will play his stuff, and you nod and you enjoy the music. That's a thing too. But I didn't know there was something else to that side of things. So when I heard Linkin Park and when I watched live in Texas, it just blew my mind.
One of the best shows for me. Yeah.
It just blew my mind so hard. I was like, so this is also music, and this is so I can be a singer. I also scream. I can't do Carnatic. I've never learned any classical art form, but this guy is like me. I listened to Green Day, and Green Day was even more. I was like, yeah, I can sing this. I'm not in any way of disrespect
Yeah,
to them.
I get it, I
think
get it, I
they
get it.
inspired me to. It inspired me to be like, okay, yeah, I can also make music and do something. I think both of these things together, like Linkin Park, Incubus, Alter Bridge, System of a Down, I can keep going on, and a lot of pop, lot of Backstreet Boys, and I can't think of anything particularly right now, but these one-hit wonders, I love these. Chumba Wamba, Tap Thumping. I don't know if you guys remember that. They're all fun songs. And I think I pick songs. I don't listen to albums. Or I think the only artist that I've gone through in detail with the album is Pink Floyd. But other than that, I've not really eaten through albums. I pick one song from an artist and they'll be in my playlist.
Got it. I think listening to music is also an art that
Yeah.
I personally feel it is, because you have to, at least give some sort of attention to what you're listening to. Because, at least when I was growing up, it's not that my family, my folks were interested in music, but they enjoyed music. But one thing I did notice very clearly, especially my uncle, he loved ghazals, right? He would play it, and it was how the cassette players were, like the two in ones. He played it, but he intently listened. He was not a singer, and he was also, kind of. At least in the beginning, he was upset I was listening to English songs. He was like, "Why are you doing this?" But then when but I still saw that he loved listening to ghazals intently. And sometimes even now we sit together, and sometimes I play one of his favorite songs, and he sings along. So that is what I think. Now I don't know how people listen to music now. They're all on headphones and phones, and I would always suggest them, leave your headphones out, leave your phones out, and actually listen to it on a proper, when I say decent setup, at least a stereo, right? Because I think that's what gets you the feel.
I mean, I disagree, because
Okay.
I feel like the entire aspect of listening to music is super subjective. Like, um, I think that this is a memory. This is a memory that you cherish, and there's
Probably.
nostalgia attached to it. And I'm like, I believe that everybody, has nostalgia attached to music, and that's the best part about it. Even if I hear a song from my childhood, like randomly playing in the shittiest speakers available somewhere in the distance, and I can hear it, it'll still make me happy. Uh, Maybe I won't like go into detail about wow how rich the guitars are, or but it's going to trigger a memory that comes from a safe place where it becomes like a soundtrack to my life, like or has been a soundtrack to my life. I think people listen to music for that, because it brings back memories, it brings back the connections, the people. We don't live forever, and I think music is a way of preserving people, memories, and carrying it forward. That's what our ancestors did with songs. They had no speakers. They had bareback instruments, handmade back at home. None of them were luthiers making even veenas and things like that. They were all like like all, at least to the majority, instruments were a big deal. You have to
Yeah,
buy
I understand.
something. Most of them just made homemade stuff like frog skin drums and single stringed instrument or that pitil.
Yes.
And they were not always in the best intonation or anything like that. But they had a lot of fun. They wrote songs that we
Yeah,
sing
even
right
sung
now.
now.
Also,
Yeah.
Raghu Dixit sings Sishanala Sarif songs, and I think when they were made, I don't think they had any technology or
Correct.
anything.
The
So
songs have carried on its
songs have
legacy.
carried
Yeah.
on. So I feel like um, whatever you listen to music on. Uh, uh, Again, this is my opinion on it. I don't feel like everybody should or take this as like complete fact or anything. But I feel like music is a very personal thing to a human. Music and dance, like you have a voice even if you don't have a voice, it's okay. Music is in you, like you can make noises, build a rhythm, or just sing out loud. That's a very personal and a good experience. And I think everybody should learn to dance even if you're not good at it, and learn to sing. These are two things everybody should do. Like it's like walking. It's like running. Like you can walk and you learn how to run and you get better at it, or learn how to jump. It's a part of your body. And dancing and music is like the same. I suck at dance, but whenever I get a chance, I'll just move around and do something. And it really, makes my psyche a little better.
Okay. That was interesting today. Nice. Okay, coming to Pineapple Express right now. How different? See, there's an approach when you do it with My Conscience. So now here, so tell us on how exactly you met Pineapple Express. How was that?
So I was in a band called The Syndicate with Baiju Dharmajan, great guitarist. He played for a band called Mother Jane, and I toured with him for a year and a half, maybe two. Um, and I had just left the
Syndicate.
syndicate at that point. And Bhargav was Pineapple's old guitarist, and I had asked Bhargav to play rhythm guitar for us for one of our shows, for one of Syndicate's show. And Bhargav also was a fan of Baiju, so he agreed, and that's how I met Bhargav. We started talking, and I think after the show, I had left the band. I wanted to try something different, and Bhargav called me up, and he was like, "See, I'm in another act with Yogi, Yogindra Hari Prasad. We are looking for a singer. Would you be interested?" Then Yogi called me up, and I had checked Pineapple Express before that on Facebook, I think. I think there was an old version of As I Dissolve, uh, like a Kannada version they had. And I was like, why do you need a vocalist? You guys sound fantastic. He was like, no, we're trying out different things and we want to, and Yogi had heard a demo of something that I had sent to Bhargav. And so, and the relationship between me and Yogi, I just went there and the connection was instant. Like we just started jamming, and he started showing me music. The band is made, and I started singing over some of them and like rewriting. I asked some questions like, "Can I rewrite this section? Can I, fuck around with this?" And he was always like, "Yeah, let's go if the idea is nice." And Yogi is a great producer, and that was like I think Yogi also saw it that it's easy between us to make music. Uh, and yeah, after that, I think the first song that we wrote freshly was Money. There was the first EP was ready. I went and I rewrote As I Dissolve, which was in Kannada. I made that into English. And Uplift was like a banger track to start off with.
Oh,
So that was
yes.
untouched. I don't think they had any like input from me over there. And I think we did Kappa TV immediately after that. And yeah, rest is just
I think Kappa TV is where I heard Money first.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was amazing. And how it started and then how it ends, two different things, and it kind of really gelled well. Um, Tell me about Colors, the song Colors.
Color.
Yeah, Color, sorry.
Color was
Wait, so I'll just tell you, after listening to it, for me, Holi was the first thing that came to my
oh
mind.
yeah.
Yeah. And, the Hindi vocals, Gira, Gira, Ayo.
It's Rajasthani.
Rajasthani,
actually.
right. And I connected with that as well. So tell me, what made you guys write Color?
I think Yo Color was an existing idea we had. Like we had another song. I think we took pieces of different songs that we had and we made Color. Yogi wrote most of it, and I think Yogi also had the Rajasthani bit idea first. It like whilst we were making it, I think the idea was very clear. This has to be happy. This has to be jumpy. This is a celebration song.
Yes.
Um,
And I feel that, people should try this out on Holi. They should try this out and
100%.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
listen to it.
once we made it,
Yeah.
we understood that okay, this is like the perfect. And Jimmy sounds amazing on it. Like he's got this smooth, buttery texture of a voice that goes into everything. And I think the Kate Ki Harlekar sang the female bits. The gira gira.
Okay.
She also
Were
sounds-
the kids in the recording? I'm very
No,
curious.
no.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the best thing about Pineapple is we always try such weird things recording. We actually have a fun process of tracking because we'll be like, what if we try to do this? What if I like do this and talk and add like another layer? Or what if we just
Very
add-
experimental.
Very
Try
experimental.
everything that makes. Okay.
Because between whoever's been in Pineapple has been extremely multifaceted and multi-talented. Like all of them are producers, are recording engineers, are programmers, arrangers. So all of us have like a really good idea of how music works and how things are tracked. And all of us are working on something else outside this also. So we bring all of those different ideas and flavors back into this. Yeah, I tried something with this artist that I'm working with on the movie thing. We should definitely do that here. And then we'll try it out. If it sounds good, great. If it doesn't sound good, scrap the idea.
Okay.
So yeah, otherwise I feel like it'll become too monotonous. And
Yeah.
follow this. I don't think there's a like I do get it. There are certain rules to record things like your mic has to be such a distance. You'll get a proximity effect and things like that. But like you come up with things when you understand the rules. You have to follow them first.
Yeah, and
to
then
then
later.
break
Yeah,
them.
yeah, correct.
So we try out different things. I borrowed our friend's vocal processor.
You mean KK? Okay.
And we did passages on that. We
Okay.
did the harmonies, we did the crowd effects, like the gang vocals. It really made a big difference. It sounded a lot better than what we could have done. And then we added our own layers on top of that, which made even it which brought like more depth into whatever we were doing. So it was fun.
Okay. And who mixes your songs?
So it's been we do a premix with Yogi where the band sits. Yogi does a premix and then the band sits with Yogi. We give our feedback, and this is not like one session that we do. Whenever we meet and whenever we have a conversation, we will bring up one these things. Hey, maybe we can change this. Maybe we can push up the hi hats. Or I said hi hats because I saw it ADHD max. Or like vocals can be a little higher, the backing vocals can go. These pointers will always be there. We worked with Vivek Thomas.
Okay.
Fantastic. I think that first EP was Vivek.
Okay. He's a good producer.
Yeah, and I think second EP was Toby, Tob's Garage. Toby is a really good mixing engineer. I think he mixes for Functuation, Benny. So Find You was all mixed by him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so predominantly the premixes or the mixes happen with Yogi, and then it goes to the next engineer, who then bring it up and make it so much more better. And like going back to all of us being producers and recording engineers, all of us have have relevant inputs to give on these matters. And I think collectively, when small nudges and pokes here and there, it forms like a bigger thing, like a good sellable product.
Okay. Now coming to live, shows. What do you enjoy the most, sessions or live?
I like sessions with the people I like.
Okay.
And I like shows with the people I like. I like both. I love being the live guy, but sometimes when you're on tour and you're doing like 5, 6 shows in a month, that's a small number, by the way. It kind of gets tiring. Sometimes crowd don't give a fuck. You're the opening artist, or you're in a corporate gig situation. Yeah, there are hard days, but when things go your way and it can be a great show. Like shows that you remember 10 years down the line types. And I've had fantastic studio time also, where like we made something in the studio, and to watch it grow into a release, and looking back at it and thinking
The
damn,
things that you've done,
like
you know.
wow, this was good. That's also nice. But I think live is a slightly more, like 5% more interesting to me.
Okay. Any memory of you performing live that you felt this show was unexpectedly, great beyond your expectation, and that moment where you actually completely dissolve yourself into the atmosphere, and you feel like, okay.
I think in the recent past for me, it's been Mahindra iRock. It's a fantastic venue. There's the ocean behind you, and like an open air venue. And I think there was maybe 2,000 people there.
Wow.
It was not super big, but it felt like the crowd was watching us. They were not like, oh, I don't know, I need to get back home, or drinking, or they were actively watching us. Like, I think Mahindra iRock has built that fan base for them and for the music that they bring. That fans are always like, let me check these guys out. They're always intent on listening and watching. And they were very responsive. And I love going to a place and blowing the fuck out of, like, blowing their minds. Like, when they're like, who is My Conscience, or who is Pineapple Express? But after the show, when they absolutely go nuts, is like a good feeling to have. Because we've totally been into places where we are the opening act, and people are like, I came to watch the headliner. I don't really give. But then they were like, whoa, okay, that was insane. I've never heard anything like that. That's a good thing.
So, Casey, you are also working in the Kannada film industry. Tell us something about that.
I mean, it's nice, and it pays me well. I think Kannada has a lot of potential in terms of what we can be doing with our music and films.
At least in the recent years, it's
I
definitely
don't
changed.
think recent years particularly. We dominated the 70s. Kannada was...
Yes.
So we are one of those, I feel like, sleeping giants kind of a thing that's gone back to sleep. We have had good movies in the recent past, but we've also had really bad movies. And it's sad that big directors, big production houses are choosing to make bad movies. Um, but I also believe that Kannada is the best place right now to be a music director at least, or to be an indie Kannada artist. Because Chennai and the Malayalam, like basically the three southern states here, uh, out of them, Ka- Chennai and Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they have great indie artists that tour the world and actually make a living off of whatever they're doing. Kannada does not have that. I mean, can you think of a Kannada artist other than Raghu Dikshit who's doing this?
No, actually, I was just last week, I was thinking about, I was listing out bands and trying to post them. But yeah, in Canada, I'm
There's
unable
nobody.
to find.
Yeah, there's
And I think they should start,
yeah, which is why I feel like Kannada is like a really, because the audience is there, the target audience is there, the market is there. There are a lot of people like you and me. Not everybody is uh, only listening to the commercial.
Yeah.
Like when I say commercial, you know exactly
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah. So there are people like us who listen to multiple languages, understand what good music is, can be, what interesting music is, at least. If good might be a polarizing term, what interesting music is. But I don't personally have an artist in Kannada that I will regularly go back and listen to because of, okay, my tastes, but also I feel like there's a big gap. There is like, who is like, there is a Pratik Kuhad, there is a I don't know, Sonu Nigam, there is a Arijit Singh, different voices, different sect. There is a Honey Singh with rap, there is Divine. Uh, but Kannada has like small, sporadic little circles of this than being a main thing. And don't even get me started on the current, like Kannada, the self-proclaimed indie superstars. Like, it's just like bad music. When I say bad music, I think it is. In my opinion, I don't think they're bad music particularly, but I just feel like it just frustrates me a little that we can be doing so much more, but we're settling for this.
I think, is that also that most of the artists think there is an audience perception and we have to meet that? Do
Oh,
you
for sure,
think?
for
Yeah.
sure. But I also believe it's a game of balance. Like, if I feel like if I try to, let's say, completely go the opposite way and try something that is not in my scene, like in my range of ability, I will seem out of place. And the more not genuine I seem, the less my music would sell. The less people would. Why would you buy a product that does not seem genuine? Is
Correct.
my so if I try to do something that is not in my, I have to do something that I'm comfortable with for it to seem genuine, for people to seem like I kind of connect with the song or the lyrics or something like that. And I don't see that happening with me with anything else in Kannada that I'm listening to currently.
I get that.
And I feel like we should focus on that rather
Yes.
than rather than making ad music that has 5 million count on it, that nobody actually really connects to or emotionally, or this is just a, like, something happened, let's make a song about with the message in it, but no soul. Yeah.
Correct.
I
But-
feel like we should stop making music for the sake of
Sake
making
of,
music.
yeah, completely agree. And I think most of the musicians who have survived long is because they believed in what they did and it was not meant for, it is something that they wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the best kind of music comes out when lots of people, at least, because maybe 100 people will follow this and make random garbage stuff, but maybe one of
One of
their
them will
garbage
actually-
will click, and
Yeah.
that will become something we listen to.
Yeah.
The perception of what good music is keeps changing every couple of
Yeah.
years. If you can see 80s, the music style is completely different. 90s is different, 2000 different. Now the 80s are coming back. They're already back, and the 90s are coming back now. There's more grunge. But the production style changes a little bit because of what we have. So yeah, I feel like whatever I'm saying might be subjective, but I also feel like there is some truth, and there are other people like me who would be the target audience for something like this.
So, in the Kannada industry, you were working as a composer or an arranger. Do
I
you also sing in?
Yeah. So I do, like, I am not like composer or something. I
Okay,
do everything that I
everything.
can
Hmm.
do. I'll go track guitars. I will do backing vocals. I'll produce, arrange, compose end to end also. But I have a partner in the music Kannada film industry. His name is Bakkesh Runada. He's been extremely helpful and great for me. He's a really, really wonderful person to work with. Very, very chill. Uh, so we make music together. He has more, his roots and his tastes are different. So when I sit with him, I'm more Western oriented. My arrangements are more pop. When I sit with him, we kind of make like fun, folky but pop arranged Western production sentiments, and he also has really nice, interesting production ideas that he brings to the table. So it's very fun. Like, I like the process of doing all of this, and it's always like a fun thing to do. And we end up with something that we both are like, okay, this was nice. So I work with Bakesh for my film endeavors as a music director, producer, whatever. Uh, and singing, I keep getting approached to sing in Kannada, but most of them just want a rock voice. For I work with Charan regularly, Charan Raj, really, really good friend, very nice person, and it's very easy to work with him. He knows exactly what I'm trying to convey, or he knows what I will sound good in, what range, or what. So I sang for Sapta side A and side B for him. That was a very, very fun experience. Other than that, I don't sing for anything else unless I find the song really interesting. Most of them are just like hero entry song. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be a two-dimensional person.
Yeah. Tell us something about your collaboration with Salim Mach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Salim has this IP called Soundcheck on YouTube, and they get every season they get different artists, indie artists. He has two, Bhumi and Soundcheck. Bhumi is for the mainstream artists, and I think they are mainstream artists, and Soundcheck is for the indie artists. And they called us, and we had Musafir before that. We had written Musafir for the album. They called us, and they were like, you can write a song for this, or you can pitch something that you already have. And the minute they contacted us, I told Yogi and our manager, I was like, we are sending this song because we had already written it in Hindi. And I was like, this is gonna be a bigger platform for
Yeah.
us, and choosing the right song to send is going to be really important. We sent that song, and I think the entire team at Soundcheck was really, really thrilled. We spoke to Salim a bit, produced everything, and we asked Salim if he could sing it. And when he said that, Salim was like, I was hoping you'd say that. I think we were really flattered. Uh, and But he was like, I can't, maybe the chorus will be too high, or I can't hit it. So, but when we were writing, we had a specific part in mind, the Hindi section, where it's Musafir is a very spiritual song. When we wrote it, it's about moving to, like, it's some relationship with like a higher power, and that Hindi part was like the perfect part because Salim is also a very deeply spiritual person. I believe having him in that section, and we also made him sing in English for the opening bit. Uh, so, and he was like a total, you wouldn't think that for even for a second you were sitting next to a Bollywood superstar, because I grew up listening to his songs. And he's like some celebrity living in B-Town, big. And when I met him, he was just like, yeah, man, what's up? Like, and I think that was like disillusioning in a very good way. He sat with us, he hung out with us, we watched stuff, and we recorded. He even like whilst I was there, he was just like, "There's another recording. Would you like to be a part of it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I at like 10, 11 in the night, randomly I was out, and I went there. Turns out it's a police song that Stewart Copeland is remaking in other languages for another album, like Beyond Borders, I think that was the album. So it was a Hindi version of a Message in a Bottle. And he was just like, "I sing this part, it's yours." I'm like, "Okay, yeah." So, and I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "This is the officially done thing where Ricky Cage is also collaborating." Um, so yeah, he's super fun and he's very energetic. I think he's 50 right now. And you will not even for a second think that he's 50. He's just continuously doing something. He's like, "Yeah, let's record. You thought of an idea right now. Let's go. Let's do it." So super fun. Absolutely super fun. Even now, he is very kind enough. Whenever I drop a text, he's always make sure to reply to it. And his team was also super friendly. Musafir was a very, very fun experience to be with Salim and to jam on stage with him. And it was a really good experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Casey, what is next with Casey?
So I had never considered myself to be a playback singer, which is why I don't sing any of the songs that I make for the movies.
Okay.
But having said that, going back to my earlier point with Kannada, I feel like there is a space that I can take up here. I'm writing songs. There are EPs that are like a couple of songs that I'm going to clump into an EP. A couple of songs that I've written with my friend Avinash Balekala. He is making a movie called Heggana Muddu.
Okay.
So I'm doing the music direction. Some
Nice.
of those indie songs are going to go into
lovely.
this movie.
Great.
I have a few. I have an album coming up with Pineapple Express, which we've been working on since the last half a decade. But it's shaping up really, really good, and I'm very excited about that. Then I have an album coming up with My Conscience, which has taken a decade. And those songs also have shaped like quite interestingly well. They're a tad bit different to what I do in Pineapple Express or in my movie side, but they're gonna be fun nonetheless. I think I've put all of my anime influences and my J-rock love into this. It's groovy, it's fun, catchy choruses. I want everybody to sing, and I love that. I love making people sing. It brings me real, and when it's my own songs, it's like even more happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of music coming up. I'm working on music videos and other stuff, but I want to show you guys rather than talk about it.
Got it. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Casey, for your time and this amazing conversation we had.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I cut you off. I
No,
think
that's
you
okay.
had something else to say also. Yeah, thanks for having me. I think South Indian, especially Bangalore, indie scenes really is in need of representation. Hopefully this becomes the beacon and stepping
We
stone
hope
for all
that
of
too,
that.
yes. Thank you.
Good luck to you guys.
Thank you. That was all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation we had. Hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. We will see you on the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.